Brunoforte, the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect, Paul Brunoforte.
New York, New York, a wonderful town. The Bronx is up and the Battery's down, and people go around in a hole in the ground. I used to love to watch Frank Sinatra sing about the city where I was born and raised. And fortunately for Frank's career, he sang a lot better than I just did. I've got a lot of great memories of New York. Roller skating in Central Park. And when we went to the movies, we went to Times Square and 42nd Street. While kids in other cities were playing with their little Lionel train sets, I was playing on a real live train set called the New York City subway system. I really had some fun times. Sadly though, not all my memories of New York are fond ones. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, you see, back in the late 1960s, New York was ground zero for the explosion in recreational drug use. And drugs destroyed the lives of many people that I loved, including my sister Barbara, who after returning from a big party we had in upstate New York, you might have heard of it, it was called Woodstock. Her life spun out of control until she hit the wall. My sweet, innocent little flower child died of a drug overdose at 19 years old. When Barbara died, my world of color turned to black and white. My life was shattered. So I decided to abandon the city that I loved and go somewhere else to change my life. So, with no job, no money, and no education, I headed out to Arizona. But it didn't take too long for me to find out it's much easier to change your address than it is to change your life. Because there I was a few years later in Arizona, in a failed marriage, working at a job that I hated, and I still had no education. Then one day I decided to sign up for a sales seminar, or what I thought was a sales seminar. It turned out to be so much more. My friend Joe and I arrived a little late, so as we were walking over to try to get into our seats, I could hear the speaker say, "You become what you think about." He said it over and over again. You become what you think about. My buddy Joe gives me an elbow and he says, "Paul, get real close, because I think I'm going to turn into a beautiful blonde." We had a lot of fun at that seminar. I enjoyed myself. But what that speaker said really resonated with me. The idea that I could change my life by changing what goes into my mind, if that was true, then I was all in. So I bought the books, I bought the tapes, I went to more seminars, I went to week-long workshops. I gave it 100%. Eventually, they offered me a job as a trainer. Now, I didn't take that job as a trainer, but because of that seminar, I quit that job I hated. I went to college, I got a bachelor's degree, I got a master's degree, which enabled me to get the job that I wanted. And in the ensuing years, I was able to achieve, and in many cases, wildly exceed all my earlier personal, financial, and career goals. And another thing that happened is the day that I actually got that job offer is the day that I met that beautiful lady over there who's been my bride now for 33 years. And then one day, I'm on the phone with my sister Carol. And Carol asks me, it's kind of philosophical question. She said, do you ever miss the old Paul? Now, for a second, I thought, is this one of those trick questions where there's no right answer? Like, do you still beat your wife? And then I could feel my inner Yoda emerge. And I answered her question with a metaphorical question. I said, do you think a butterfly ever misses being a caterpillar? I don't think so. But I also don't think that a butterfly ever regrets being a caterpillar or is ever ashamed of being a caterpillar. Because the butterfly knows that that's what it takes to become a butterfly. And like butterflies, we needn't be ashamed or have any regrets for what's happened in our past, because that's what's brought us to today. But what I learned is we can change our future by changing our present. And we can change our present right now by changing what goes into our minds. And this is not some new age idea. This idea has been around for thousands of years. The motivational speaker, Harvey Mackay, said that the Rabbi Hillel the Elder, 2,000 years ago, said, watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your actions. And watch your actions. They become your habits. And watch your habits, for that will determine your destiny. You see, ladies and gentlemen, not all caterpillars become butterflies. And not all people will reach their full potential. It does take some hard work. It takes discipline to control what you allow to come into your mind. But with perseverance, with patience, each and every one of us can dig down and release our inner butterfly. Mr. Contest Chair.